Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We need to talk about everything that is going on with AMC stock here on the day, as well as the broader markets. Obviously, we did not get news of this court ruling that was hopefully going to happen today. That did not happen. So we're still waiting around for that, and it could be any time now. So essentially any time the Moass could be coming. Now, in the meantime, what's the data look like? What's going on with the stock? Let's talk about that here in this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So first things first, important to know, Tesla and Netflix, they actually had good earnings, but the stocks are falling today, mainly because they've just went up quite a bit recently. And this has the entire markets kind of in a funk today. The NASDAQ is down 1.5%. The Russell is down 1%, and the S&P is down close to 0.5%. At the same time, your Dow stocks are actually doing well today, up about 1%. So anything that is remotely expensive, anything that is remotely at a higher valuation that is not in the medical field or the healthcare field, it seems like is down today. So with that being said, AMC stock is not being spared the rod here, and it is falling almost 2% here on the day. Now, this is a very minuscule move. This is nothing to obviously be concerned about. Nothing matters until we get this ruling from the courts. And that's the ultimate conclusion here, right? As you and I know, that's the only thing that matters. And ultimately, when that ruling from the courts comes, you will see the mother of all short squeezes. In my personal opinion, simple logic here, right? Everyone's betting negatively on AMC when this is actually a very bullish catalyst. The only one that actually thinks this is a bullish catalyst, like the literal only analyst, the only person, is B. Riley Securities' Eric Swold. That's it. Everyone else thinks this is a super negative. You should be short up to your tits in AMC. And I just simply think that is a flawed logic. Now, we are seeing momentum gathering for Barbieheimer, which really the main story is Barbie at this point, and it looks like people are going to go to theaters and watch this. Now, the underlying thesis of why this capital raise is a positive is because AMC is not losing $200, $300, $400, $500 million a quarter anymore. They're losing $50 million a quarter, right? And most of the additional loss is interest related. So AMC's business is doing a lot better now than it was. So AMC is going to raise billions of dollars of capital, and it's no longer going to be eaten up by the loss that AMC is seeing every single quarter. This is a huge positive for AMC stock, and this is the ultimate reason why this event will cause the Moass, just not to mention the overall psyche of the markets. Typically, when you get a bad news kind of event, you usually feel most of the bad news in the stock price leading up into that, not necessarily after, especially when you have months to prepare for it and essentially months for the markets to price that in. So long story short, we're waiting within hopefully days away from getting this ruling from the courts. When that happens, you should expect, at least I expect, to see a short squeeze playing out. Now, another factor that hedge funds and institutions really didn't think was going to happen is just the length of time this has taken. Why that's a problem is, well, on any other normal stock, it wouldn't be a problem. But with AMC and the cost of borrow fees over 1,000%, that becomes a big problem very quickly. If we look at the cost of our average, 969.71%, 1,040% for the cost of our max, and cost of our minimum sitting at 856.16%. Interactive Brokers currently has a cost of our fee of 943.2%. It was 1,050% just earlier in the day today, about an hour ago. So there's definitely a big problem going on under the scenes with the cost of borrow fees with the hedge funds and institutions, and they are feeling the pain of this trade. Just feels like it's never ending at this point, right? If you're a short in this trade, you're probably more frustrated than you and I, because with these cost of borrow fees, it's literally almost impossible to actually make a profit. Now, the current live short interest of free float is sitting at 28%, and you have 144 million shares currently sold short. Now, again, I've said this in many other videos, and I'll say it again. If apes own a majority of AMC stock, well, really, that means you have a 100%, maybe 200% short interest, and it's a lot higher than 28%. Now, all things considered, 28% is by far the highest that we have been at in this entire trade so far. You're looking at a short score of 96 with $632.56 million worth of short positions currently in AMC stock. Free flow out on loan at 34.5%. 178.15 million shares that are currently out on loan with the days to cover of 10.32. You've never seen days to cover on AMC at 10.32. This is up 96.3% in the last 3 months. Things have gotten exponentially better for us in terms of a potential short squeeze over the last few months or so. You've never been at such a squeezable level for AMC stock, and that's ultimately a massive positive. We just need that catalyst, which ultimately is the court ruling, to get the stock to go to the next level. Now, as I have mentioned, especially in the last video, the option activity is suggestive of an imminent announcement from the courts. Take a look at this order that we are seeing here today. Expiring tomorrow, a $10 put for $17.25 million. This is an insane trade that you're seeing. Someone's essentially betting that AMC stock is going to fall like a rock coming tomorrow. And that is pretty suggestive of what they believe is going to be a negative catalyst coming out, which is that court ruling. So there is that information. Option activity, positive order value of 0%. Now, again, we did have major earnings here today with Netflix as well as Tesla, and these were just overall bad news. Now, you're still getting bad economic data coming out of China as well, and just bad data overall, really not supportive of a good economy as of right now. Even though it looks like we're heading closer to a soft landing, it just doesn't look too great. June home sales dropped to the slowest pace. Sales dropped to the slowest pace in 14 years as short supply chokes the market. So things are kind of just slowing down across the board. Not really something that you want to see as the markets are almost at all-time highs. But obviously, Tesla and Netflix earnings kind of soured the markets, and especially your big tech names. It's creating a lot of uncertainty heading into those earnings. Now, as well, you've seen Discover yesterday. That was a very negative earnings. TSMC, none of these guys really had good earnings. Now, today in after hours, you're going to get Intuitive Surgical, Capital One, CSX, PPG, Berkeley, Bank of Ozark, First Financial Bank, Amerint, Associated Bank, Knight, and Swift Bank. So you're going to get some more banks here in after hours. Big one to obviously watch is Capital One as Discover dropped 16%. I did make a trade on this today that could yield about $20,000 if Capital One falls to the same degree as Discover does. So we'll see what ultimately happens with that trade. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time every single day, link down below in the description of this video. Now, a quick look at the technicals on AMC stock. You're looking at a MACD that is in positive territory. The RSI at 43.36 and AMC stock at $4.28 at the time of recording this video, guys. So none of this really ultimately matters until we do get the court ruling. Things are going to go up, they're going to go down, they're going to move sideways for the most part. Once you get that court ruling, that's when the Moass does ultimately start, in my personal opinion, guys. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.